Hey everyone, I'm Steve and this is Base Reality. And today's episode is Embodiment and Release. And this is really the key to the happy dream. And what is the happy dream? Well, as we talk about in this channel, Base Reality, the idea is that we're in sort of a matrix. We're in a theater, we're in a dream. And to sort of get out of the dream, you pass from the lower dream or the more scary dream, the suffering dream, the unhappy dream. And as you start to awaken, as you start to open up your heart, as you start to connect with the divinity within, the kingdom within, then you start to move out of the unhappy dream, which can be very unhappy. It's probably a big understatement, to a happy dream. And the reason we can move from an unhappy dream to a happy dream is, in pure non-dualistic terms, you're the only one down here. So you're actually in your own universe. So even though it looks like there's a bunch of people and we're in one universe, we are actually creating overlapping universes so that we can have this experience in physical reality with each other. And so your higher self sort of creates this shell around you, this 360 bubble, kind of like a hamster bubble that we're running in. And we project out our inner consciousness. So we have our conscious mind, then we have our unconscious mind, and then subconscious mind. And the idea is that the things that we're aware of, we expect to some degree, but a lot of times the things that are in our unconscious mind or subconscious mind, we're not aware of. And so there seems to be, so it creates this illusion that things that are coming at us from the world are coming from outside of us, from an objective world, from a causal world to us, where it becomes the effect, where either there's a good thing or there's a bad thing. And these teachings are designed, that's what spirituality is, and to some degree religion, although religion can get a little dogmatic and one size fits all and controlling, and so it seems to be hit by a lot of the ego energies. But there is some clean religion out there. But the idea is that once you start to realize that you're in this bubble, that you're the one that's actually creating your reality. So the things that are coming to you are actually coming from you via your conscious mind and unconscious mind. So as we start to understand this, and we start to want to live in a happier dream down here, then we start to realize that, okay, I need to start going within. I need to start looking at what my thoughts are and what my beliefs are. And the difference between a thought and a belief is just, a belief is something that we've thought over and over and over and has really become solidified, something that's really powerful, that's really magnetic. Whereas thoughts can be a little bit more fleeting, more temporary, less magnetic. And so those beliefs that we're holding are magnetic. So what we want to do is we want to hold this frequency. And the way we do it is to become more deliberate in our thinking and to start forming new beliefs about what's possible, what we can do. Because if you look at, there's a lot of teachings out there like on Gaia, the Seth materials, and it talks about the chemical process. So as we have our thoughts and beliefs and then the emotions with those, there's a chemical process that occurs in the body, and that chemical process goes out. And that is what actually starts to intermingle with the energy that's out into the quantum field, the ether. And it starts to form our physical reality, opportunities, people, a house we live in, cars we live in. All of this stuff is coming straight from us, and then we project it out chemically, and then we act on it. So as these things start to return to us, then we're more able to act on it, to go out and meet with people, start learning our craft a little bit better, start learning different skills, and start going out and following our goals, following our bliss. And so release is really the part of just looking at the mirror and seeing the things that are unpreferred that are coming back. And then we just simply, we can release those, meaning we can release things that are no longer serving us. And the way we release them is through transformation. And transform, because energy can't be created or destroyed. So when something's coming in, we can take a look at that and say, oh, this is a reflection of a belief that I have. And so we can scribe it down, journal it down, and say, well, why do I believe this about myself? Because as we start to get more deliberate in our thinking, we're going to manifest the world more powerfully, and that's going to show us our shadows much more. It's going to show us our strengths. It's going to show us where we're maybe falling short in some beliefs, where we have good quality beliefs, and then where we have distorted beliefs. And so as we get more deliberate, more conscious, more awake, more aware, we're going to start seeing these mirrors, these shadows a lot more. And so that means transforming, releasing those things that aren't serving us anymore. And a lot of times the ego, the false mind, the mortal mind, uses those to try to keep us trapped. Its job is to keep us inside the matrix. And so it uses fear to try to push you away from your shadow thoughts, from your shadow beliefs. And so when you start training your mind and you start living in the present moment, you start to realize what's coming in, then you can start making decisions about how you want to live. And it doesn't matter what the collective is doing. It doesn't matter if they're burning down their houses, if they're getting sick, if they're falling apart. You can certainly help them if you want. But really, you can't interfere with another soul. You can't control another soul. That's what the dark energies are trying to do with the distractions in the world. They're trying to put out a lot of fear so that they can fool people into using their energy for their agenda, but ultimately you can only use attraction. There is no assertion. So some of the things that you can look at the world is when you start to see, oh, well, there's going to be cyber attacks. Well, then you can start saying, well, I'd like to start seeing more transparency. I'd like to see more security. I'd like to see more things coming out about who's actually planning these attacks. Is it really bad actors like people in their basements or little hackers? Or is it more organized, three-letter agencies that are actually going out and planning some of this stuff and to try to keep the population in fear and to keep giving their power? Because then they create the drama and then they say, well, we've got the solution. So it's sort of this back and forth. Here's the drama. Here's the fear. Oh, we're going to go to war. Oh, there's a pandemic. There's all this and that. And, oh, but we've got the solution. And you'll notice sometimes right after a tragedy or something, they'll actually have like the Patriot Act ready or all these other things that look like they took like months or maybe even years to build. And they have it like a couple weeks later, right after the event. And they're like, here we go. We need to pass this and all. And it's like, boy, that was fast. And so that's the idea, is they're constantly create the drama and then they try to create the solution. And they're just trying to keep the sliding going down so that they can get more control. And so there's a lot of stuff. So you can use that contrast to start looking and seeing what would you like to manifest, but then embody the frequency. So use those contrasts and then say, I see the farmers winning. I see more loving leaders. I see new decentralized systems like the medical system, financial systems. I see the EU coming apart. I see more transparency. I see more loving leaders coming into our government. I see the Detroit Red Wings winning the cup within 4 years. So these things you just embody no matter what's going on, no matter the distraction, the social media that's saying this and that, and you'll feel fear. So as you start to say, oh, I really want this, I really want that, but if you feel like you can't get it and you can't attach to it, to that idea, to that belief within yourself, and there's something interfering, then you can go through the release, the transformation to say, What belief would I need to hold about myself to prevent myself from moving forward? What am I scared about? Am I thinking that I'm not powerful enough, that I need to think of like a savior outside of me to come in and fix things? Do I need Trump to come in? Do I need another Democratic leader to come in to help me? Do we need more Democrats, more Republicans? Do we need more independents? Just let all that stuff go. You're your own hero. You're the hero of your story. And so the idea is that as you start to embody more power and say, I've got the power, I've got the power, and you'll run into, I am powerless. I am powerless. I am insignificant. I am small. I am not worthy. These are beliefs that you can start to release, to start transforming into, I am powerful. I do have the ability to do this. I am strong. I am energetic. I am eternal. I am perfect. I am whatever you can do. And this may take years. This may take months. This may take years to sort of go through this process. And it's like stepping stones. You don't have to be perfect, but at least just keep taking steps as much as you can to try to embody more of these energies, more of this power, more of whatever is showing up in your life that you don't want. Just start to release and start replacing it with these new empowered thoughts. And feel your goals arriving now. When you're embodying these energies, you are already pretending, visualizing, feeling that they're already here. And so it's not the see it, believe it, it's the believe it, then see it. So it's the opposite. Since this is an upside down world, you have to go backwards. And so it feels a little weird at sometimes, but really that's what you're wanting to do is you see it, you feel it, and then you act on it. And so, you're going to be in the driver's seat. You're going to be pulling in whatever you want. And then you're going to run into those shadows. You're going to run into success. You're going to run into other people. And there really is no success or failure. And like Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. So you're either doing something or not doing something. There is no really like void. There's no purgatory. You're always creating something. Constantly, you're always broadcasting out. So the point is to start getting control of your engine. If you're in a boat, steering, engine, rudder control, all that stuff. So you're not running into the shore, into other boats, or and you're actually starting to steer. You're starting to be more conscious about what you want. And there's the part of the programming is that you can succeed, that you can fail, that it can all end tomorrow if you try to take a step and you're gonna fail and it's just gonna be this miserable thing. That's programming. That's BS. That's just more of the dark energy saying, oh, there's success and failure, and then they try to like vilify people on the news and media, people that did buy into it and they did have like an issue, but you've got endless second chances constantly. And so this is just an eternal beingness. It's an endless adventure. And so just use this time while we're in the physical form. This is the only time we'll be this person in this physical incarnation. So, use it as an experience, as a fun experience, to take ownership to be bold, to be courageous, to be brave, not to be, if it's something that feels truly outside of your comfort zone and is really scary, then just look at that scariness. And again, just use stepping stones to slowly get to, where you want to be. Because again, this is all your world, your consciousness, your universe. So I hope that helps. Hope everyone has a great Sunday. Thanks for watching. I love you, and so it is. Thank you.